so should be protected. That is the main point I would like to highlight here. Thank you, sir.
Srimati Diya Kumari.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson, sir, for giving me the opportunity of speaking on the Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill. Sir, I'd like to begin by thanking our Honourable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and our Honourable Environment Minister for bringing an exemplary and comprehensive bill that will protect native Indian species, improve enforcement of the law, and will ensure that the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is compliant with the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. Speaker, sir, our government, under the able leadership of the Honourable Prime Minister, has displayed grit and determination to make India a responsible and a climate-resilient economy. Sir, at a time when global warming is increasing, forests are vanishing, and various species of flora and fauna are disappearing, our visionary Prime Minister has taken strides in the right direction to lead the country towards a more sustainable future. Speaker, sir, India has been a signatory in the CITES for the last 46 years. Earlier governments failed to even consider the implementation of the convention. So much so that in the year 2004, the CITES Secretariat had warned India that the Conference of Parties would suspend trade with India due to non-compliance with the convention. Speaker, sir, I'd like to congratulate our government for incorporating the provisions of CITES in the Wildlife Protection Act as a separate chapter 5th B, which is titled Regulation of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. Sir, what has also caught my attention is that the amendments under this bill shift our focus on the conservation, protection and management of wildlife. So we never had a streamlined process for trading in plants and animals, which often led to rampant malpractices in the field. Now the bill regulates wildlife trade as per the convention. Speaker, sir, it is also a timely and necessary bill as it seeks to empower the centre to regulate or prohibit the trade or possession of invasive alien species. This will ensure that the balance in the native wildlife ecosystem is maintained. The bill clearly specifies that the actions of the Chief Wildlife Warden must be in accordance with the management plans of the sanctuary. This ensures that a consultative process is followed rather than an arbitrary process. Sir, it is pertinent to highlight here that for sanctuaries falling in areas of scheduled tribes, the management plan will be prepared after due consultation with the Gram Sabhas. The involvement of local communities and the concerned Gram Sabha shows the commitment of our government to uphold the federal structure of our country. This will also reduce incidents of man-animal conflict. I think it's very, very important as a representative, former representative from Wildlife Sanctuary, Tiger Sanctuary. I think this is a very, I think the government is so committed towards involving local communities. This will also go a long way to reduce the man-animal conflicts that happen, and the local people will feel more involved with the way the sanctuaries are run. Another welcome move is empowering the state boards for wildlife to constitute a standing committee for exercising certain delegated functions. This decentralization process will ensure more localized solutions and faster decision-making as it reduces the dependence on the centre and on state-level board meetings, because by making a standing committee, a lot of the workload will be reduced. There will be state wildlife board meetings more regularly, because many states like Rajasthan they should have more regular meetings which don't happen. So by having a standing committee, the pendency will reduce and the workload also on the state wildlife boards will also reduce, hopefully. So the increase in penalties for violating the provision of the Act will act as a deterrent to crime. This will also safeguard against any practices which may endanger the survival of wildlife in the long run. Sir, I say this with pride that our Honourable Prime Minister is leaving no stone unturned to punish those who try to hinder the wildlife ecosystem. As a representative from the state of Rajasthan, which has 25 wildlife sanctuaries, 5 national parks, and is home to many endangered species, I say this with utmost confidence that the present amendments will go a long way to safeguard our endangered native species and to preserve our natural heritage. So, as someone who has a wildlife sanctuary in my current parliamentary constituency, Rajsamand, and has had a national park in my previous Vidhan Sabha constituency, Sawai Madhopur, I really appreciate the amendments proposed in this bill. So I would like to thank the government on behalf of the people of Rajsamand, Rajasthan for this far-sighted bill. The bill will put India at the forefront of preserving biodiversity and conserving the environment. Honourable Speakers, Chairperson, sir, I thank you for giving me the time to speak on the motion. Once again, I'd like to thank our Honourable Prime Minister for this landmark bill and congratulate our Honourable Minister for Environment for the same. Sir, I would like to conclude by saying that I support this bill. Thank you.
Samad Samdani.